Good afternoon. Welcome to Yggdrasil Gardens. For those of you who pay attention, y'all will know I did not post a video last week for Father's Day weekend because I'm a father and I have kids. So I was spending my time with my family. But I'm your host, Chance Walton. And today we're going to do our video a little early this week since I didn't do one last week. Today's beard care product I have for you is the Distiller by Fable Beard Co. And that scent is spiced vanilla bourbon. And boy, that smells so good. I have not actually tried Fable Beard Co. until some buddies of mine in the Renegade Beard Club Alabama chapter, which I'm a lieutenant for, sent me these samples, sent me these bottles to try out because they have more oils than they'll ever use. So I'm really happy with them. So far, every scent that I've smelled from Fable, boy, man, those are some knockouts. I mean, you can't go wrong, especially this Distiller. Like, that's one of my new top favorite scents of all time. It smells so good. I also have the beard butter for it too. So that's about all I'm going to go with the beard care today. Fable Beard Co. Go check them out. Today's video, let's talk about some pests for tomatoes, since I'm dealing with pests right now and just had to treat my tomato plants. Since the last time y'all saw my tomatoes, they've gone buck wild. I've trimmed them, tripped every branch off of them, and they exploded, and I had to tie them up. I've got twine running around this whole thing to support them. But I just had to spray my tomato plants down with bifenthrin. Remember the insecticide we talked about before, because of these nasty little boogers. That is a tomato hornworm. He's squirming around because he's dying from me spraying him with bifenthrin mixed with some Dawn dish soap. So it's smothering him out. He'll drop off here in a minute and fall dead. But my tomato plants this morning, I got up, come over to the window, and I look out and I noticed that I had just stripped branches. That is always a good indicator that you have hornworms. Is if you start seeing branches that are chewed off, snipped off, completely stripped bare, good odds you have tomato hornworms. But luckily, they're really easy to kill and control. Get you some bifenthrin, some Dawn dish soap, and I mean, you can do a little spray bottle, you can get you a little pump sprayer, backpack sprayer, whatever. If you use chemicals for your sprayer though, for your lawn to kill weeds or something, you want to rinse it out like 3 really good times, filled all the way to the top, and then on the last one, maybe even a 4th time, spray completely out. Just sit there and let it run soapy water through the line all the way till it's empty. That way you made sure you cleaned it out really good of any chemicals that would be left that would harm your plants. I mean, ideally you should use a whole new sprayer to just cut back on the risk. I don't have that luxury, so I just had to make do with this one sprayer I've got. But I used a mix of bifenthrin, 2 ounces to 2 gallons of water. That's a heavy dose, and it works. Look, there's another one. The more I look at this, the more I find. And I've already pulled off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. And there's still more that I'm finding. So what I like to do is I spray them, and then I'll get in here and snap the branch they're on off. Just because they're not, as long as they're not on where my flowers are, I mean, I'm not worried about a few branches. It ain't gonna hurt nothing for me to snap those off. And it gets them off of the plant, so if they do drop off dead, like this one probably ain't gonna last much longer. He's struggling. But tomato hornworms, very big problem this time of year. I mean, what is this? This is late July. June, I'm sorry. Mid to late June, you're gonna start seeing the hornworms. They're a product of moths. They come in, they lay their eggs on your plants, and you'll never know it until you start seeing the signs like this. Just completely stripped plants. And then you'll see these big old worms. Sometimes you won't see them. Sometimes you hear them. That's always been a good indicator. You come out, shake your tomato plants, and you hear a little crunch, crunch, crunch. That's the sounds of them eating. They're nasty little boogers. They will, I mean, they move quick. They're kind of like army worms. where like if you don't catch them, you can end up with completely stripped tomato plants that are really hurting and struggling. So you wanna inspect your tomatoes regularly for them. Another big issue is cutworms for corn. Like, as you see, I've got me this nice, gorgeous, that's over the roof of my house on that tassel. So that is at least 12-foot tall corn, if not taller. But as you see, I've got silks, which means that before long, I'm gonna end up with corn ears. And that is where cutworms come into play, because the moths that produce cutworms will come lay their eggs. They'll bore a hole somewhere where that ear's gonna be and lay their eggs, and those eggs hatch out, and they look exactly like armyworms. Like, it's uncanny, but they destroy. They'll eat the tassels, they'll eat the silk, they'll eat your ears, and they do the most damage to your corn. If you're gonna have a really crappy crop yield, it's gonna be because of the cutworms. I've heard a bunch of different tricks, like put cooking oil down the silks so that it gets down into the ear and it'll prevent them. I don't know anything about that, so I just kind of coat my plants with bifenthrin, same thing I do with my tomato plants. Just soak them really good so that it can run down, get down into all the crooks and nooks and crannies and cracks, and really soak in. That way, if there's anything active and alive in there, bifenthrin kills most insects. I'm gonna say most because things like fire ants, you might kill them, you might not. It might not work very well. But bifenthrin is one of the safest insecticide chemicals you can use in your garden, because it does not absorb into the plant, so it does not turn your plant toxic. So like if you were, like today, I'm supposed to get rain sometime this evening, I can spray these plants down right now, let it dry. It can rain this evening and wash all that bifenthrin off, and there's no harm to the plant, no harm to me whenever I get ready to harvest. Whereas there's some other stuff like imidacloprid or xylam that are systemic. They get absorbed by the plant and turn the plant toxic. That could be a problem. Since we're getting close to harvest, we got silks going, you don't really want that. Now, if it was early in the season, it would be safe because those chemicals only last for about 2 months. But being this close to starting to get harvest, like my green beans, I'm already getting really solid harvests of. So I don't want anything that's gonna potentially poison me or my family. So bifenthrin is the safest way to go. That's about all I've got for y'all today. We've talked about hornworms, we talked about cutworms. Those are really the big issues I'm having this year so far. I'm not having any issues with my beans, my strawberries. The soap's working to keep deer and rabbits away for the most part. So just remember to always check your tomato plants, especially this time of year, almost every day. And if you start seeing stripped off leaves, it's time to go get some bifenthrin and coat it down. Take care of those hornworms, because they will damage the fire out of your tomato plants. All right, well, that's all I've got for this week. Stay tuned. Like, share, subscribe, share it with your friends, post it on your socials. You know, I do this for free. I am not paid. This is not a monetized channel. I do this out of the kindness of my heart because I want people to know how to take care of their plants, how to take care of their garden, how to grow their own crops, and how to handle most stuff around their landscaping. And bifenthrin can be used in more than just your garden. If you have bugs eating on your azalea plants, if you have decorative plants that are getting torn up by bugs, hit them with bifenthrin. It'll take care of whatever bugs are there. You can't overdo bifenthrin. It's beneficial. It's not going to hurt you. I mean, yeah, it can hurt you if you're sitting there spraying it in your mouth and drinking it, but it's one of the safest chemicals there are as far as pets, people, children, gardens. You really can't mess it up unless you're just being completely stupid. So, that being said, I'll work on some ideas for next week's video, and we will catch y'all next time. Thank you, and y'all all have a great night, great week. Be safe. Stay safe in this heat and stay hydrated. I love you, and we'll catch y'all next time.